Good morning, Vanchians. Another beautiful day has begun as we continue our pursuit of achieving Type 1 civilization status. 1. Breaking the routine. Let us pause for a moment and reflect. What truly makes a day beautiful? It is not repetition. It is not routine. A beautiful day is one that does not feel like a blur, that creates a memory, that feels different from the ordinary. Sometimes, all it takes is to pause, breathe, and do something unfamiliar. So today, I choose to begin differently. I will not review Vanchi stats this morning. Instead, I will step out and experience the city directly. 2. Two paths to Type 1 civilization. There are fundamentally two approaches to achieving Type 1 status. 1. Control all external factors that influence life. 2. Become independent, or immune, to those factors. So far, in Vanchi, we have focused extensively on systems, infrastructure, technology, governance, all aimed at controlling the external world. But we have explored far less of the internal world. 3. The inner world, a different frontier. At its most fundamental level, all matter in the universe strives for survival. From atoms resisting change, molecules maintaining structure, cells sustaining life, organisms evolving. This drive persists through every stage of existence. Human consciousness is an extension of this process, a mechanism that allows us to resist entropy and influence our survival. Whether perfectly scientific or not, the implication is clear. If we seek Type 1 status, we must reduce dependence on nature, not surrender to it. This leads to a profound idea: control over our own biology. This is what I call the Rexal Way. 4. A personal limitation and curiosity. I must admit, I do not fully understand this path. How can something like meditation, simply thinking, lead to control over the body and reality? And yet, I have witnessed things that challenge logic. The sages of Hilvam once told me, "You believe what you see. We see what we believe." Whether or not we accept this, one truth remains. The more we learn about the universe, the more we realize how little we know. 5. The Hilvam Experience. Before becoming mayor, I traveled the world in search of direction. It was during this journey that I discovered the concept of Type 1 civilization. On my return, I was advised to visit the snow-bound region of Hilvam. What I experienced there contradicted everything I believed. 6. A different definition of a better life. In Vanchi, we define a better life as minimal resistance in execution, abundance of resources, freedom to create. In Hilvam, life is different. People are happy not because they have everything, but because they need very little. When resources are scarce, they do not struggle to acquire more. They simply reduce their need. 7. The Hilvami Way of Life. Their lifestyle is characterized by deep integration with nature, minimal reliance on technology, simple, functional living. Even their food reflects this philosophy. Nutritious, mild in taste, sufficient, not indulgent. Their focus is not on perfecting the external world, but on mastering the internal one. 8. Observations that defy explanation. One striking observation: age is almost impossible to determine. No formal records of time or age. Generations appear physically similar. They may appear primitive, but they are not ignorant. They are pursuing Type 1, just through a different path. 9. The Rexal Way Defined. According to their philosophy, the human body is as complex as the universe. It contains the fundamental code of existence. The brain may not fully understand the universe, but it can create a universe within. Their goal is not to understand everything. It is to control the self completely. 10. Unconventional ideas emerging from Hilvam. If we were to map their lifestyle into Vanchi's idea system, it would include longevity approaching immortality, disease immunity, accelerated healing and regeneration, reduced dependence on food, water, and oxygen, control over body biology, enhanced probability prediction, self-directed genetic evolution. Even concepts like cosmic conversion, creating matter or energy from thought. They do not actively pursue these as projects. They simply train the mind and body continuously. 11. A necessary synthesis. My return from Hilvam left me conflicted. As mayor, I cannot ask Vanchians to abandon technology, Reject modern comforts, even if such a path promises extraordinary outcomes. Therefore, our direction must be a synthesis of both worlds. Prepare for the worst right-pointing arrow, the Rexal Way. Build for the best right-pointing arrow, the Vanchi Way. 12. Integrating the inner path into Vanchi. We have begun integrating elements of this philosophy into daily life. 1. Intuitive healthcare. Physicians are encouraged to observe before measuring. Diagnosis based on instinct and experience. We even host diagnosis battles on VBC Health, a form of functional learning through competition. 2. Adaptive consumption during shortages. Instead of reacting to scarcity with panic, citizens are encouraged to reduce dependency. Community training sessions build adaptability. Not every solution must be technological. Some are simply behavioral. 3. Training the human body. Citizens are increasingly exploring their physical and mental limits, adapting to discomfort instead of avoiding it. For example, during power outages, instead of backup systems, people allow themselves to adapt to environmental change. The result: greater calmness, reduced complaints, increased problem-solving ability. 13. A strategic confession. I must share something openly. At times, we have intentionally introduced controlled challenges. The purpose: to observe how citizens respond, to measure adaptability. The results have been encouraging. 14. Expanding the idea system. Inspired by Hilvam, we have added these unconventional ideas to the vision board. For now, they appear as dim stars. But if realized, they could radically transform human life. 15. A new method of knowledge capture. Traditional blueprint systems are insufficient for such ideas. So we introduced the diary feature in the Notebook app. Citizens now document personal experiments, experiences, observations. Even without full scientific explanation, patterns emerge, roadmaps form. 16. A new branch of medicine. This has led to active treatments. Instead of prescribing medication, physicians recommend lifestyle adaptation. The outcome: healing through internal change. It may not yet be fully scientific, but it is effective. 17. Experiencing without overanalyzing. At times, I deliberately turn off analytical thinking. Simply experience life. Through my smart glasses, Nevator records everything. 18. Understanding the human experience. Nevator generates two layers of understanding. 1. External context. What is seen and heard. 2. Internal inference. Why actions are taken. What the user might be thinking. She analyzes movement patterns, attention focus, environmental responses, personal behavioral history. 19. Reconstructing thought. At the end of the day, she recreates my experiences, adds a voiceover in my own voice, interprets my thoughts. The accuracy is unsettling. 20. Why this matters. Understanding human experience allows AI to think like humans, identify real problems, suggest meaningful solutions. This has broader implications. Designing environments suited to humans. Preparing for terraforming. Hostile planets. 21. The future. Biology meets technology. Nevator's long-term role is not just observation, it is enhancement. With sufficient data, she can guide individuals toward better biological control, assist in achieving the Rexal Way through technology. 22. A personal commitment. This realization leads me to one conclusion. In addition to my daily responsibilities, I must begin exploring the inner world. For me, that begins with meditation, preferably at night, before sleep. 23. Closing thought. We are building systems to master the external world. Now, we must begin mastering the internal one. That is how we move closer, not just to Type 1 civilization, but to understanding existence itself. We will continue this conversation tomorrow. Good night, Vanchians.